Before I start this video, I would like to give a massive shout out to my Patreons, and if you would like to join my Patreon, please check the link in the description below. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nerd Den here once again, and in today's video, I'm going to be looking at a Reddit leak. Yes, of course, the infamous Reddit leaks are returning because we're at that point in Doctor Who where there's a little bit of a gap here. You know, obviously there's some speculation, and sometimes there are some leaks that end up being true on Reddit. Like, a lot of stuff for the 60th anniversary and the Power of the Doctor has already ended up being true. So, yeah, let's have a look at this leak, because it could be a complete, load of made-up stuff, but I want to look anyway and see what people are saying or thinking. So, yeah, with that being said, though, let's get into this video. Alright, so, the Doctor Who 60th anniversary. I have a source who works for Bad Wolf. I don't demand you believe me, but just see how it plays out. Excuse me. The Doctor meets Donna early in the story. He basically leaves the TARDIS and meets her. She remembers him and is safe during it. She takes the Doctor home, and Wilf and Sylvia freak out over her memory, but she says she is fine. Also, Donna slept through all the events, such as Flux. Now, I do hope they explain the memory thing, because obviously if she remembers the Doctor, she dies, but there was that failsafe during the end of time where she just simply let out a massive burst of energy. Now, I don't know if they're going to address all of that. I hope they do. I think Russell will, but I hope it's done in a meaningful way which doesn't detract from the ending of Journey's End, which, you know, was a beautiful ending to Donna's character. Rose is in fact Donna and Sean's daughter, and she's with Donna when she meets the Doctor. Rose is explicitly transgender, and everyone around her supports her. Her chosen name was an idea that Wilf put forward as a tribute to Rose Tyler after Journey's End, which is very sweet. So, okay, so we know some character details about Rose. So, yeah, we know about Rose, who is a new casting. And I don't think it was actually explicitly confirmed anywhere that Rose is going to be Donna's daughter, but I think it was kind of hinted anyway during filming where Rose did shout for her mom. So yeah, that does make a lot of sense. But anyway, let's move on with this. So Wilf and Sylvia take a backseat role, especially Wilf. With Bernard Cribbin's help at filming, he couldn't do much. He's in a few scenes in episode 1, a lot with units, and a bit in episode 3. I believe episode 2 as well. Sean, Donna's husband, is also in it. His character is a bit shallow because he has nothing to do. He and Sylvia are only in episode 1. Same for Rose. Okay, so at least Wilf's in a little bit more, which is good. But it's a shame that Sylvia and Sean, and also Rose as well, only in episode 1. And it's a shame as well because they did hype up the casting of Yasmin Page. Obviously well known from Heartstopper, playing a character, and then if she's only in episode 1, that would be very disappointing, but hopefully it allows her to return in future episodes in Series 14 and beyond. Speaking of units, they do come back. No Osgood though. Kate is back. They're in episodes 1 and 3, which is beautiful. Miriam Moggles does voice Beat the Meep, and the Raft Warriors are after it. It's a light adaptation of the Star Beast comic and audio, the same way Marvel's Infinity War is an adaptation from the Infinity Gauntlet, so not entirely, but the core is the same, which is pretty cool. I have read Marvel's Infinity Gauntlet storyline and then watched Infinity War, and I could see what they're on about here, but I haven't listened to the Star Beast comic or audio, to be honest. Of returning characters, Mel Bush is back in episode 3, more on that later. There's a sweet moment where the 14th Doctor asks how Yaz is aware of the support group, so we might actually get more returning older companions, and we might also find out what's going on with Yaz as well, like, since the Power of the Doctor. And I feel like that would bring more closure to Chibnall's era, which it certainly does deserve to be acknowledged. I know I weren't fully behind a lot of the choices made there, but I do like that it's still being addressed because it is still part of Doctor Who that we all know and love. The Toymaker is who Neil Patrick plays. He creates chaos to get the Doctor's attention for a final confrontation after the story titled after him in the 60s. He also thrusts Mel into the conflict to further the Doctor's will to find him. Who else returns? Well, Trinity Wells does appear. What about other Doctors and companions? No one, sorry. But there is another Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa. I said a white lie, other Doctors do return, as Guardians of the Edge. The title they have is The Guardian. That's 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Other Doctors appear in other places in the mind with other roles. The 13th Doctor and the 11th Doctor play big roles in working what's wrong with the regeneration due to the interest in it, due to the issue with theirs, the Master and the new life cycle. Their titles are the Professor and the Scientist. The 10th Doctor also helps. The Helper is his title. He helps people in the mind world with issues as a self-imposed community service after being the Time Lord victorious. They eventually work out it's the Toymaker's doing while the 14th Doctor is facing them. They decide to send 15 down to help, but it takes all their energies combined. We see shots of 2, 3, 4, War, 9 and 12 helping, but their faces only since the actors don't return. References are made to the Fugitive and the Doctor Master, but no appearances. Edit Murray Gold. Right, so there's a lot to take away here, so obviously, there's some details there about the alleged 60th anniversary plot, with the Doctor meeting Donna again very early in the story. One thing that does stick out for me, though, is the return of other Doctors, which I do hope they bring back the Guardians of the Edge concept. I think it's a solid way to bring back returning Doctors. Obviously, if they can do the traditional where they share an adventure together, that would be awesome. But I feel like for how wild the 60th anniversary story is going to be anyway, I feel like it's, it is a good way to get stuff done and have them, with the Guardians of the Edge hallucinations and stuff like that. I feel like it would work. But yeah, let's talk about this. So yeah, in terms of like a likelihood, I think this leak is, it's not too likely. But I feel like a lot of it is a safe bet up until it gets to returning Doctors. But I don't know. I could imagine they could do like a new version of the Guardians of the Edge with modern Doctors fitted in as well. Because I feel like Russell T Davies has hinted anyway that he's not going to ignore the Chris Chibnall era and its concepts. So I feel like it's a good concept to bring forward. But that being said, though, thank you very much for tuning into today's video. If you are new around here, be sure to subscribe for more nerdy content, and I'll see you all next time. And I'd like to apologise as well for the voice. It still haven't recovered from the cold, but hopefully I should be okay soon. But yeah, we'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now.